We Irish hold our games in the highest regard. From young Satanta with his hurl and schlitter, or Dermot and Grania playing chess in the woods, to the modern heroes of the rugby pitch and the boxing ring, one truth holds. The centre is where it's at.
It was in the evening. Fionn was returning home from hunting with his 2 dogs. Suddenly, a deer leaped out of the bush. The dogs chased after her. Suddenly, the deer stopped, laid on the ground. When the dog got to her, they sniffed around her and started playing with her as if it was another dog. Fionn thought that was strange. When Fionn got to the scene, he decided to keep the deer. He brought her home to graze with the rest of the herd. One day, the door to Fionn's room was opened, and a young, beautiful woman walked into the room. Who are you? What are you doing here? My name is Sive. I came to you for protection. I'm afraid of the tall, dark man. When she said that, Fionn knew that that was the woman from the other world that had come to her initially in form of a deer. He's everywhere. I'm afraid of him. Fionn felt the urge to keep her. He invited her to stay, and she did, and soon they became inseparable. Fionn lost interest in fishing, feasting, hunting. His mates were not impressed. One day, news broke out that the dreaded Danes that surrounded the hill of Oath. And at best of times, Fionn had no time for those men from the north. He bade his farewell. He promised to be back. He soon joined his comrades to face the foe. He instructed his servants to take good care of his beloved. Not long after that, the hunting horn was heard. The sound of the hunting horn was heard outside. A tall man, in the image of Fionn and the dogs, were standing on the crest of the hill. Sive was overjoyed. Her husband has returned. She had great news for him. She's expecting the first child. The servant was horrified. Sive ran. The man lifted up his hand to strike Sive. At that moment, Sive disappeared. Instead, reappeared the door, afraid and shivering with terror. Fionn, having dispatched the enemies out of Ireland and was certain they are all gone, decided to return home. He didn't wait for the victory celebration. He had imagined how his beloved would receive him back home. But that wasn't the story. When he got back, there were few people around that avoided his eyes. He caught the eyes of Gary Cronin, the rough boss, the man in charge of opening and closing the gate. What happened? When he was told the story, he dropped his head in despair and shut himself in the room for many weeks. When he emerged, he trained 5 special dogs for hunting. One day, he went hunting with his mates, and they heard the sound of dog fights from afar. They traced the sound, and when they got there, they saw the dogs stood in a circle with a little boy in the middle, with no fear. The boy looked around. The look in his eyes reminded Fionn of the door. The boy spoke no language that Fionn understood, but he brought him home to teach and to speak to him, and when he's old, to ask him questions. The young boy had no memory from the past, but he remembered living in a cave with a deer that he loved so much. There was always food at the entrance of the cave, and sometimes an image would cast a shadow and the deer would disappear. He named him Ocean, meaning young deer. He was raised on the mountain of Slievemarge by Fionn's own foster mother. He grew up to be a warrior and a poet. He was always referred to as the last of the Fina. That, as to say, is another story. My name is Kemi Adeyemi. This story was given to me by Laois.